Myron Gaines here from Unplugged Fitness. Today we're going to talk about rep ranges. Do you need to do 10 to 12 reps? Do you need to do 30 reps? Do you need to do 50 to 100 reps? Today we're going to look at the science and see what best rep range there is for you to make gains. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so I know you're probably wondering, is it 4 sets of 10? Do I got to do 25 rep sets? The gym bro next door said I got to do 6 reps to grow. The other guy said I got to do 50 reps to burn fat. Guys, we're going to settle this dispute once and for all. And we got the Board of Gains to help us, okay? So, I'm going to look at 2 studies here. Brad Schoenfeld, one of the best hypertrophy researchers in the world, one of the leading guys when it comes to figuring out the most optimal ways to build muscle based on the literature. And I'm going to compare 2 studies here, okay? So, first we're going to talk about the 2014 study. They took 17 young trained men, okay, and they split them into 2 groups. One group did 10 sets of 3 reps with 90 seconds rest, and the second group did 7 sets of 3 reps, okay, with 3 minutes rest. This was an 8-week long study, and the most important thing was once they compared both groups after the 8 weeks, they found no significant difference in muscle thickness, aka hypertrophy, okay? But what I will say is the group that did, the strength-based group that was taking 3-minute rests and lifting heavier weights, they obviously got stronger at the end of the study. But as we know, you don't necessarily have to get stronger from a strength-specific standpoint to get bigger, okay? So they did another study in 2015, okay, Brad Schoenfeld and his team, where they took 18 young trained men and they split them into 2 groups. One group did 8 to 12 reps, the other group did 25 to 35 reps, and it was an 8-week long study as well, and they found no significant muscle thickness difference among the groups. But once again, the groups that lifted the heavier weights were noticeably stronger from a strength-specific standpoint. Where does this lead us? Well, guys, reality is this. Somewhere between 6 to 30 reps is going to build almost an identical amount of muscle mass, assuming that volume, which is the biggest driving force of hypertrophy, is equated among the different training style and you're training to a sufficient level of intensity, which we're going to cover that in another video with reps in reserve and rate of perceived exertion. But it's from a rep standpoint only, guys. Reps don't necessarily dictate if you're going to grow muscle or not or burn fat. From burning fat, that's your diet, okay? That's putting yourself in a caloric deficit. When it comes to building and or retaining muscle, which retaining muscle is much easier than building it, guys. Studies actually show that you can lift a lot less weight to retain your muscle mass. But to gain, there's a lot of flexibility here, guys. So for practicality reasons, I suggest somewhere between 6 to 20 reps, depending on the movement, will build muscle, assuming you're equating volume, and it puts you in that nice little sweet spot. Because at the end of the day, you don't want diminishing returns, right? If you're lifting below 6 reps, the risk of injury goes up, time in the gym goes up because you have to take longer rests in between sets, you have to do more sets to get the same volume, versus when you're doing higher repetitions, well, your cardiovascular fitness might not be able to keep up with the higher repetitions to induce a hypertrophic effect. So the sweet spot, guys, from my experience, both anecdotally with my clients and myself, is somewhere between 6 to 20 reps, depending on the movement, time, experience level, etc. With that said, guys, no, high reps do not get you cut up, and low reps aren't necessarily the only way to build muscle. There's many ways to skin a cat, as I always say, because I hate cats. And with that said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on this video, and share this with a friend that has no clue how many reps they need to do in the gym. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.